So, hi Priscilla.
Hi, Atsana.
Thank you so much for agreeing to do this together today. And yeah, we're just talking about this. I was wondering because I was falling asleep, and pretty much every day when I fall asleep, something happens. Like I see
Yeah,
some visions, and I saw like clearly there are seven pillars of light. It's a blue light. It kind of like blends into the sky. So some people can see, others cannot, that support this world. But there's a eighth pillar is like I see it over Ukraine, and then it brings me to this region of Western Ukraine where the Carpathian Mountains are. There not too many people live there. They're really preserving the woods there real hard. Like they don't let anybody cut the wood, the trees, and there's only like little tiny villages there, not too many people. They always wear this special outfits, most of the time you don't see them as like regular clothes.
like
uh,
natives, and they
right.
still have
Yeah,
their
the ribbons, and of course they don't wear like those flower wreaths all the time on their heads, but it's like this white red color. But they're on the border with Poland also, so imagine like there are no real borders is in our heads that they want us to believe, but they're
yeah,
on the border with Poland right there. And I was thinking, like, I was going back in the history, and of course history is all twisted and all this, but nobody really tried to take over this region. And the old people, so imagine there's like big hills covered with woods, and there are only one or two the most built like old looking houses on those hills. And there are very old people who call themselves Malfars live on this, and they're well known because they're born in. They always say, if you're born in these mountains, you always have the ability to foresee the future. And
yeah,
that brought me back to all kinds of interviews with them 7 years ago. They were talking about the war that was coming from Russia to Ukraine. And 7 years ago, they kept saying that the Putin, and you know how they like tell their future. Some of them use the this old way that we brew coffee in Ukraine. It's kind of like Turkish way, in the special pot. And then
okay,
they look how they can read the whatever's left, and in English to say it. Some of them use the beans. They just spill the beans and they say, this is Ukraine, this is Russia, this is the president in charge. He's gonna regret big time. He came to Ukraine.
yeah,
These people, they have the special spirit. There's something about their spirit, you cannot break it, you
yeah.
know
It's ancestral, ways of divination with their with the land, with the fruits of the land, and they're very connected over there, I feel.
right, yeah. So, and I was looking at that too, because we are connected, we're in symbiosis, and I feel like this war, in a way, it did two things. First of all, Draco reptilians who are really controlling, but I see Draco reptilians in one group, and then all the tall whites and grays are in the other group fighting with each other, like type. But then
Yeah,
they wanted to open up portals to repopulate the territory, cleanse the territory from Ukrainian people. That's why they kill everybody they see on that way. It's literally
there's a
all
lot of
thousands.
reasons when they do
Right,
something like that. It's like all the possible reasons why they could do that, they just locked in together, kind
right,
of, and then it accesses like the big timeline to click into that possibility
right.
because it's so like, and it's the same thing, I guess, for the good timeline.
Right, because energetically, it's would be too high vibrational, especially by the Dnieper River. There's like a lot of water there, and like people know, since I was born on the left bank of Kiev, and it's all sand and a little bit of dirt. That's all.
Yeah, you told me this
It was
already.
used to be all
Yeah.
water. So I feel like Dnieper was an ocean. That's my true feeling. because it's a large territory. If you zoom out, like you know, you're thinking like, boy, they really tried hard. Was because when I used to dig holes in the ground when I was little, it would be like very thin layer of like dirt, soil, where there were
Mm-hmm.
trees, but then there would be sand, 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 and I would like ask my mother like, oh, why is it sand? And she said, well, you know, they put a lot of sand. This all
You know
used to
what I
uh,
see?
the
Like, I don't know exactly what it looks like, but what I'm seeing when you're talking, it's like if let's say it was a sea before, and then with all the earth changes and everything, maybe land then got there. But if you go under, I guess there's so many underground um buildings and into the rocks and everything. That's how I see it. I see it like going under and accessing through under,
right,
like the region where you say it's a big. I would have to look on a map, but how I see it like that when you're talking, that's what I see. And like if they could access it from under the water or something like that to go under the land, because there's
exactly,
it's
and
such a
that
big.
and the right bank is on the hill. It's imagine it's a
Yeah,
huge hill. It's kind of like Atlantis if you look at it, because the left
yeah,
bank
like they
is
build it,
non-existent.
they.
It's like a big castle on top of the hill and water all
Mhm.
around. That's how it looked before, obviously.
Yeah, yeah, like the sand you're talking about, it was put there to solidify this thing, kind of,
Right.
or
Yeah.
to create the border or the
Right.
edge. And when we were talking about the mountains, I could see all the trees like fluorescent, and the roots with all the systems. I think that, like you said, two things happened, like all this craziness. But I think that on the other side, because it's always two sides, and as this is so potent and so um like energetically powerful, I
Mm-hmm.
guess that the other perspective of this energy is there too. You know what I mean? And
Right.
for myself, and I think a lot of us, the ones that are accessing already kind of other abilities, it's been really amping up and really making us see more and feel more. And I feel that all the atoms in this realm are being affected by this, like the trees and the water, the animals, everything. So it's really like a push and pull, so it's.
Right. I also see like a timeline. I was searching for myself all these days, where I see that Ukraine is gonna be like surviving the territory there on that particular timeline survives all the hurricanes, all the water, mud, floods, and all this, and that's where elites want to live. You know, yeah, I mean calling elites, but they
Well,
whatever people who carry the certain DNA that is important for Draco reptilians and other alien species
mm,
races to preserve on Earth.
yeah.
They want them to be there. So I felt like they wanted to cleanse the territory, put there energetically this territory was too dense. It's kind of like,
Yeah.
when you're awake and aware, nobody can get attached to you as an entity because
Hmm.
simply because you don't have a room in your energy sphere for them.
Yeah.
So if you cleanse it all from people, you can repopulate it with entities and the people you want and leave it like as a zone, as a territory that. But now, there's a phenomenon at the physical level happening. The people, there's I know some Americans who have friends from Ukraine. They all the Ukrainians who immigrated to the US want to now after the war go back and live in Ukraine.
Yeah.
And it's like I know it from people. It's not like I just hear it somewhere or video or whatever. No, it's from real people. That's how I get my information. And I'm thinking, that's probably subconsciously they want to do it because they feel that this eight pillar got activated there, and that
Hmm.
be a land of energetically, it's going to be very good. Uh, pro,
I
in
get what you're saying because it's so multi-layered,
Right.
Like there's
Yeah.
so many ways of seeing it, and there's so
Different
many
different layers.
different agendas, like what you're saying now, it could really like kind of fit into the perspective of people saying, well, if we want, other consciousnesses to incarnate, well, we need to, make room for new souls or whatever. And, it's all people are all saying and rationalizing on so many reasons why all this is happening. But you and me, we know that it's all that together. It's not just one thing. So it's like, um,
Yeah, yeah. There is this actually Russian channel. They've been doing. She's very good regressologist. She and then all the sessions they've been doing, I just there's so much resonance was what I've been seeing. And to me, so basically in this channel, they do sessions like I do for clients and for investigation, and they mostly see that grays are in control of this world. The grays are the one who dictate, the six races of grays.
yeah.
I'm thinking, well, because I always see China behind the soul, you know and it's like they created this how is it it's like they want Chinese people to be all in the system, under control, all looking the same, acting the same, much like
Yeah, hive mind.
I. And they
Yeah,
want the same for the world. And the
yeah,
thing is, and then they figured, well, what if we went for all the Slovenian kind of roots? So basically, we kind of like have similar culture and everything with Russia, right? And a lot of us are mixed. Russian, Ukrainian, like how many of my friends who live in Ukraine have relatives in Russia and vice versa.
yeah. That's the
It's
thing. It's
lots,
very intricate. It's very
right?
intricate. And
So
also
what
another thing
those
is that
to be
the
kept?
assets, that they have. Let's say, like you were saying earlier, that it's most probably, two factions of elites, that are kind of fighting right now.
Mhm.
Um, their assets, their strongest assets that would be ready and willing to do this war, they don't have 100. Um, you know, possibilities for this to happen and everything, like to be prepared and everything. Like, I guess that these are, you know, they're big cards, because right now, like you're saying, like the hive mind, it's
Yeah.
happening on the positive side also with our collective consciousness. It's crazy. Like we're all so I watch I don't watch a lot of videos and everything lately because I've been, trying to connect to only my things
I don't
and
watch
connect
anything right now. People keep
exactly just
sending
to
me stuff, and I don't watch any of
yeah,
it.
just
I
want
just
to
I can't.
be on my own radar,
Mhm.
and sometimes when I look, just because I'm curious, I'm just gonna go see fast the titles and stuff like that. I see that we're all on the same page with what we're looking into and what we're where we're at and everything. It's like we're all following each other much more. So it's like the hive mind. Well, it's not. You can't call it hive mind, but I mean collective
Mhm.
consciousness that we can, be more like a group that's working together against that, you know, um,
Right.
non-organic, network, because it's a network. And there's this other network, the golden network that I see. Like
Mhm.
I've been seeing it over Ukraine. I've been seeing over Russia. Like golden grids and golden plasma and the energies. And we're a lot right now doing this. So
Mhm.
there's the two sides right now that are giving it their all. So it's like,
Right. It's
you know,
yeah.
because I've been seeing a lot lately on the astrals when I astral project to go and do work there and grid work, and I've been doing it a lot, like all day, and
Mhm.
I've seen a lot, and I see that, the darkness, the density, it's being like melted, like with the golden
Mhm.
energy, how we melt it. Well, I'm
Right.
not by myself there. Like there's a lot of huge beings like that are joining, and I see the crafts, and I see it, and I see it like this network that we're all like connecting through the plank, even, through the fields and everything, all the atoms, like what I
Right.
was saying. So yeah, there's a lot of, it's not, we can't see that from our perspective here, but when we go in the astral and I connect to that part, well, I see a lot on that side too, you know.
Right. Yeah, and there's a lot of people who told me that they had like aliens visiting them, like my friend's telepath, well-known telepath who's been working for a long time in this area.
Yep.
And also like, and I was waking, I had this vision one day. You know how like when I usually wake up, I realize I'm awake, but I still keep my eyes closed.
Yeah.
And then I asked myself, wait a minute. So the China is that's where the behind the whole country there is six races of the Alliance of Nabu, the six
Hmm.
alliance of six
Yeah.
types of grays, right? And then all of a sudden I have like like this visions quickly. You remember that video with Trump? He goes China, China, China. It's kind of a funny one. And I'm
No,
thinking,
I don't
you
know.
get the clues everywhere. I mean, there's tons of videos. Just put Trump and China on YouTube. There'll be a funny music and type of like how many times he said it
Yeah. Yeah.
when he was a president. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, he's hinting that, like it's true.
Yeah.
Because China wants this communist time, you can call it whatever regime, but the whole
Yeah.
idea behind the New World Order, everything is he has a number on his face, on his forehead, and accounted for and controlled.
Yeah.
And that's how, my Chinese families that I know in Chicago here, they all said that they fled the regime. They didn't flee the country, they fled and they say, do you know what our monks? They had to leave China too because, the regime is crazy.
Yeah.
Even monks cannot survive the regime in China.
Yeah, of course
So,
not,
and I was
because they would
talking to
have
them like
to.
2 days ago, and I'm thinking, well, it all kind of fits because if China controls the Russia, and like, I mean, you can be president for 20 years, like the Putin was, and then I start digging into Putin thing, and then I see lots of Putins.
Yeah, me
I'm
too. I
thinking
see a
like, well,
lot.
everybody wants him to get killed or whatever, dead, but if one gets dead, another one will stand up.
Yeah.
Because there's like
Yeah.
lots of dolls. It's
Yeah,
get
and they're really like
right.
rubbery, like, like,
I
that's,
know.
it's
Well,
like,
people
oh my
joke at
God.
physical level that he's got a
So
lot of
funny.
Botox because he's almost 70. He's turning
Oh
70
yeah.
soon.
He's very swollen,
Yeah, yeah, because he gets these injections, but we
it's much
explain
more
at a
than that.
physical
Like even
level,
now when I
but
look, I see like
not a human.
yeah.
Yeah, he's just a doll, by robot filled up with technology. But the thing is, like, every time I look at every president is a doll. Every president is a biorobot.
For
And
sure,
like the
because
world is so like, what are we fighting against? So basically, the um the six gray races are fighting against, well, just leave along, those other star races
hmm
who all has interest in humanity to use us, but they're
yeah.
basically like fighting against the whole world. It's like they just started with Ukraine. People should understand because
Yeah,
people buy into this. They send me, oh, you know how many videos I get from my former clients? Like, I don't watch them.
for
People,
sure.
I'm sorry, I don't watch your, links. I just don't have time.
Yeah, because you're
And
from there, so yeah.
I don't want to be influenced by any theories. All
Hmm.
these theories are clearly AI generated, period. There's a
Yeah,
lot of propaganda, and this propaganda comes from the Russian guys like Slava, like all these Russian
it's
names
not.
of guys.
It's yeah,
Putin pays, well, Putin, whoever behind all this it's a massive production, okay? Those beings pay money to people who are already pre-implanted with implants and
yeah,
go for the ego program. Okay, I'll be rich if I spread the propaganda. They want
yeah.
you to get confused. Like even the names of the army different parts of the army that I know, now because my brother tells me about it. And they screw up the names too. They screw up the
Mm.
letters. They don't write them even right. So obviously it's computer generated, this video.
There's so many
But
people
still,
who are jumping on this occasion to get views, to get money, to get a piece of the pie. It's disgusting. It's
right,
disgusting. I don't, and before that, it was about and the the job and whatever.
right.
And if it's not one thing, it's another. Me, I am so,
It was just the beginning. This was just the
like,
beginning. The wars is next. The wars, not just one war. The wars. That's what I see in
that's
this.
one
But we
timeline,
better get
you
out of
know.
this timeline, people. We better not fight over the stupid, conspiracy theories, because to me, right now, I've been always accused of being a conspiracy theorist, but right now, whatever videos or links I get from people about all these different explanations what's going on, those are like fake conspiracy theories. What
Yeah,
we have to
yeah.
do now is to unite and understand they want to kill us all. It's not only Ukrainians or Russians,
It's not
because
even about,
Russians can die from hunger or whatever they can
yeah,
die
they
from.
don't
I have
care
no
really,
idea.
you know.
It's like the whole world is on purpose turned against them. And look how many young 18-year-old men who went there
Yeah.
against their will. They were told they're going to a special operation. Ukrainians are going to greet them with flowers. And Ukrainians, are all about, they want to be Russianized or Russian, whatever. I mean, my,
Well,
my own brother
there's a lot of
who's
propaganda on both sides, and I
no,
think that for
well, but
me,
that's a massive
this
machine of propaganda. It's a
yeah, this
beautiful thing. It's the whole
state
thing.
of this situation, I just can't, you know how I see it right now? Like, I see this chaos there, and I see over it, like, where we can do something, because
Mm.
I'm not gonna go there with my gun, you know what I mean? Like,
No, it's not
so
about that. Well, that's the idea.
it's
Right.
nothing I want to feed into, and it's so drowning. It pulls you, it pulls you because it's crazy all this, but
Yeah, I don't
it's
really think about it. I'm trying to see from a perspective of the real enemy who is invisible to human physical eyes, what they really want to do here. So they want to
yeah,
start with one country who poses the most risk because of our spirit. It's something has to do with the Slavic roots. By the way, it's not like I have my best friend here is she's from Czech, from Prague, and I see the same kind of fighting ability in her that I feel inside myself. So that's a lot of Slavic countries. But we're
mm-hmm.
all mixed. I'm not saying that we're better than others. No, not like
No,
that.
of
But
course not.
there's
We're all
something about
humans.
the
That's the thing.
territory. Yeah,
We need to understand that all the land, all the planet is rich, and all this land is sacred, and this planet is so, it's heaven, it's this place is heaven, but they're making it hell because it's our consciousness. Like, the other plan was losing its momentum, it was losing its
right,
grip, and that was the next thing for people's consciousness to be sucked into this thing, because they just want the energy, and that's really the basic of it, and
right,
once we're able to stick ourselves out of that and get our energy where we need to put it, well, that's where we create change, because as soon as everybody's in there, and how I see it, I see like clouds, it's like gray clouds, and they can't see, like their heads is in there, and they're like, oh my god, blah blah blah, 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 blah. Everybody's like freaking out with this, and
right,
they're already a weekend, like
right.
this earth population is already weakened, and we are not to fight with each other. I mean, the enemy is not humans.
But
The
let's
enemy is not between humans.
right,
The enemy is between in organic intelligence, consciousness, and also the other species that are um, creating chaos to keep our minds stuck there, because it's getting linked together more and more, I believe, with this energy that we're in. you know. So
Right.
if they're all linked together in this, it's creating powerful pull through that timeline, you know, because we, the collective consciousness of this planet, we're the ones who are choosing the timelines. I mean, come on, you know, it's our, you know,
Right.
it's our batteries, our, you know, together. So that's the
Right.
thing. So it's if we're sinking into all this fighting, I mean,
Yeah, it's really, I was actually looking at how they really got us into this timeline locked like that, but it seems like the plan was the famous virus, really did work. And remember, where did it start? Where did it come from?
yeah,
From
for sure.
China. Again, this China
Yeah,
comes up all the time, like here we go. We started that. The war is like totally from that area also, because of the alien beings who's behind it. And
yeah,
there's a whole pyramid of those alien beings. But because everybody already, if I go back before the war, everybody was already in the energy of fear, because
yeah.
even after this, they would still be in
Hmm.
fear.
Yeah,
Just
and
don't
with all the thing that they have in their
protection, all the
bodies, you know,
yeah,
probably they
it's
have
a
even more
accumulation of
power.
fear, like a bomb
Yeah,
that
yeah, they're
made them.
even more
They used
intricate.
it, exploded it, and made it happen, as turned it into war, because energy you cannot like destroy
Yeah.
energy, you can transform it. So they transform the energy of fear from the virus, all these people, into the energy of war. So what is
Yeah.
next? Well, natural disasters and stuff, and local wars, and split up in societies and all this. But
But I believe that there's, you know, all these possibilities are there right now, very strong with what's going on. But you know, I don't think that all this is gonna, all their plans is gonna, you know, be okay and everything. I really strongly, like today, I see that we're not on the same timeline. Like I can see it with my exterior. I can see it through everything, the people, what I see. We're not, I'm not saying that we're saved, but I'm saying that it's shifting, you know, on and off. Sorry, I have to drink something. So
yeah, I was
I
like
really
thinking,
think,
because right.
yeah, I really think that there's, you know, like I said, like the stream of the that blue light that you're seeing, um I've been seeing it from a lot of the cross points of the grids, you know, the ley lines,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and connecting to crystal technology, you know. I don't see clearly enough to tell you exactly what it is, but a lot of people are talking about different things, so I'm not excluding the possibility that it's that. And you know, these technologies, these crystal technologies,
Mm-hmm.
they're like activated by us, by our DNA.
Right.
So as
Yeah.
well as the bad things with the DNA, as well as
Right.
the good things with the DNA. And I see myself very clearly through my stream of manifestation existence, and I'm seeing pretty higher, you know, like clearer every day. And it's like we're all is not finished, you know, all is
It's
not
not
done.
finished because, like, if you look at Ukraine, Carpathian Mountains here, Kiev is here. They cannot take over Kiev. Failed. But
Hmm.
under Kiev, I see like a huge spaceship, and
Yeah,
there's a
that's what I
lot
was
of,
gonna say.
yeah, like giant, and it's artifacts they're going for. They need them, even though I feel like they could never figure out how to use the technology. That's
Exactly, they
their
need
big
us.
problem. They need the people
Yeah,
connected to that timeline when that technology was being used to
yeah,
be able
and
to. And they can't. And there's something about It's like, there's certain points on the right bank that I used to just, there's like, there's this big hill, and I used to go all the way on top, and they never built anything on it. Never. It's
Mm-hmm.
just like a beautiful, very tall hill. Kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like somebody layered it up like a pillar
Yeah.
covered with grass. I used to watch everything as a little girl and I remember feeling so happy. And I even used to ask my mother, like, why do you only feel so happy here? Like, this is the happiest place. I
Yeah.
kept going there, and there's like some points that is the spaceship gives, because energy you have to give away through something, through some pores, because
Yeah.
it's
It's
like a
organic.
skin, right? The
It's organic.
pores.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Uh,
organic spaceship, crystal, like
right,
crystal technology with consciousness.
right,
Um, I see it like it's like all these different um big crystals that are
right.
related together that need to be activated into this one pillar, that goes through the earth and to
Exactly.
the sky and
Right.
everything. And I've been seeing this, Oksana, for a while. I didn't know
For
it
a
was
while.
that.
Yeah, it fits into the story that my Chinese friends told me about the Tibetan mountains and how they
Yeah,
pushed monks out of them. They pushed monks out of them because the monks are protectors of the mountains of the same spaceship was the same crystalline technology under
yeah.
those mountains. So those dragons, in China and those, there's once again, you can say that this one particular star race controls this country. There's a mixture. I always see a pyramid of hierarchical pyramid. So I see the dragons, but I see the grays, because there's a lot of DNA
Tall,
of
white.
grays in Chinese people physically.
Yeah.
They even resemble grays a little, but yeah, I have good friends from China here. But anyway, so it's all but it's all containers. It's a containers. It's not about the soul. Souls are from all over the universe. Um, but yeah, then it fits together and just but I also see that's why the reason why I unsubscribed from all the channels that I used to watch, like literally from one night,
Mm,
I just like enough because they suck your energy. You buy into their particular theory
yeah,
and you start like it stopped feeling organic to me. A lot of channels,
yeah.
especially when they connect with the other channel and they build a
Mm-hmm.
better
Oh,
empire of
it's like
channels.
bullying. Yeah, there's been so much bullying. It's
Right.
ugly. It's ugly.
Yeah.
And me, since the war started, I really cocooned and I really, wanted to only connect to my perception, of things
Right.
because I'm kind of more on the, happy side or something. I like to see things like that. So I
Yeah.
was trying to keep my because I get affected also when I see stuff and I didn't want me to be all unbalanced and whatever. Like you're saying, my energy
Right.
to be sucked in, and if I'm into that energy, I'm gonna create it because I know I'm gonna be feeling it too much, So, anyways,
Right.
and
Yeah. Well, I can tell you there's one thing I wanted to mention. So I'm very thankful to my Russian clients who live in Russia, who are experiencing
mm,
it. And they don't have this saying that they can like homeschool kids. I don't know a
okay,
single Russian person who homeschools. Maybe they don't
okay,
even have the program like this. But
okay,
they took pictures and sent it to me. I sent it to one of the group chats that you're in, that their kids are like they're wearing uniforms. They put uniforms with a Z on little kids, and then my person, she lives in Krasnodar in Russia. She edits my videos, right? And she said, Oksana, they deleted my channel. Her channel had like 200 subscribers, maybe less,
yeah,
like very little, and
yeah,
they deleted her channel because she posted pictures of her kids saying, look how they brainwash my kids in school. So,
yeah,
and like today's video, right? It's somebody took it. It wasn't on the news, this video. Some person took it, how the news Independent Russian News at the Russian, Red Square in Moscow,
Yeah.
interviewing people, all the people. You're pro the Putin, you're against, you're pro war, you're against war. It doesn't matter. They just wanted to know opinion and calculate exactly.
So many layers,
Yeah,
like
but they're
that's
all
the
taken
base
by
layer.
police to the car.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like, and look how funny reversed the whole matrix system is. They're the ones who said at the physical level to get into your head that, oh, we are eradicating the Nazi regime in Ukraine,
Yeah.
when they themselves are using the Nazi
It's
regime
all
on
the
their
same
own
thing
people.
anyways.
No, no,
The
but it's,
governments and that it's
yeah, yeah,
just,
yeah. But
you
at the
know,
physical level, there's some certain some
because when you're
people
on one side,
freedoms.
you think the other side's the bad guy, and when you're on one side, you
No, no,
think
no.
the other one's the bad guy. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
always
but
like that. It's like,
right, right. But my Russian clients are telling me, Oksana, it's like we cannot say the the word war. We are, we cannot say any opinion anymore regarding this topic anywhere in public. And that's what's crazy about the whole thing. I mean, I
exactly like it was
understand.
for the virus. You could not say anything. Like people
Right,
would, it's
right.
like brainwashed.
But in the other countries, people can. So in
Yeah,
the
well,
other
they're the
so
ones that are
in Russia,
implicated. So,
we think that China is under Russia in a way,
mm,
but no, the whole world is under China, because that's like this and Draco, gray empire, whatever, of beings who are trying to implement. They are, it's through them for some reason, because I see it like a big headquarters. We know how they control people there, through TikTok. They know everything about you. You're
not even
always
here.
in the system. If you do say something in the comment, you get deducted from your whatever. They fine you immediately in your banking. The fine is
Yeah, that's
the money
crazy. But it's
deducted
starting
from
to
your
do
bank
that
account.
here in Canada. They've
Well,
been freezing everybody's accounts, mine included.
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
No,
so
no,
it's
I
like,
know it's happening, but I feel like they've tested it on
mm,
the Chinese people
yeah,
first, and now they're spreading the roots of this artificial, AI technology tree throughout. Like I like how you compared the trees in the Carpathian Mountains as their
yeah.
natural internet, right?
Yeah, for
It,
sure. All the trees are natural internet with
yeah,
the mushrooms, and even, it's connecting to the air particles, it's connected to the water
right, like
particles.
antennas. Hmm.
Everything is vibrating right now, like really fast. Like I can see it.
Mm,
Like it's
right.
really, and it's connecting so much more. Like when I visualize it, like the
Hmm.
matter is getting amplified. Like it's a notch. It's not the same velocity. It's not the same um plasma energy everywhere. And even the energy bodies around everything is so much more visible. Like even the let's say a chair or anything, like I can really see the energy body very, very it's denser, like it's more easy to see. Like the unseen is getting easier to see. Like like how people say,
Hmm.
oh, the density is changing and we're ascending, blah blah blah. And well, you know what, like I think I'm starting to understand what that means. Like we're not going anywhere, nothing's happening really, but it's the um fabric, of this
Of reality.
field. Yeah, it's changing. Like our
Hmm.
interaction with everything, it's much more deep, and it's much more, the manifestations are so fast, and like the power is on, like they open the valve or something. So that's why it's so like,
That's why it's important to disconnect from a lot of sources of information, because they actually
absolutely,
siphon your energy big time. I noticed that. That's why I
absolutely.
disconnected. I don't want
Yeah,
any investigation sessions.
and
No,
this is
nothing.
amplifying
Even
whatever
my
vibration
friends
you're
do.
in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. If the people they get so caught up in their things, because
Right.
it's amplified. So if you're like freaking out, they're freaking out more. And if you're like happy, well, you're happy more because it's more. you
Right.
know?
Yeah, and also like we have to remember there's ego hook and there's a lot of hooks that still existent because I noticed
Crazy.
some people there's some people who are amplify this idea of them wanting to be better than others.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
you clearly see when they're
They
trying
can't
to
deal
get
with
to
it,
you a lie
no?
about it by
Yeah.
covering their, oh, I have good intentions, but you
Oh,
see their bad intentions
we
underneath.
see it right
It
away. It's
it's
so
getting
clear.
so clear now, right? It's pretty
Yeah,
amazing. It's almost
because they
laughable.
can't navigate it anymore. They're like slipping, like it's like
Right.
all the it's literally, we can compare it to like a surfer on a wave. Like your wave is slow and you're like a trickster or whatever. So you can surf your wave, you can skate and you're good, but this is
Yeah.
getting hard to navigate, for what's not true and what you I don't know, it's getting like the game's amping up. So I think we need to really be mindful of what we're doing, especially us, that are aware of so much. And it's hard because exactly we're,
Right.
aware of so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah,
And
and there's another thing I actually wanted to mention. I see a lot of people, the fear is amplified of like entities or entities getting attached to them
yeah, because they
from
see more,
different other people.
they feel
And
more.
it's like here's the mechanism. I guess I explain it, but I still see a lot of people don't understand because
Mm,
the if you are solid in your expression, in your
hmm.
truth, in your inner understanding and connection, then nobody can sway you by his or her
Exactly.
information or opinion to right or left. Then nobody can get attached to you. That really, you can get emotional maybe sometimes. It's normal. We still have emotional mental bodies. We cannot just cut them off with scissors and say, I'm becoming a bi-robot cyborg without
No,
emotions.
but we get to do
But,
it often. We cleanse
right,
ourselves all the time, and we do it all the
yeah,
time. So
right,
that helps, like
right,
unconsciously even.
right,
So we're
right.
like used to it. Yeah.
And the thing is, like, even my kids said, Mom, it's so funny how some of these reptilians sometimes try to come up to me and get attached to me, and I see them, or I feel first, and then I see them clearly,
Mm.
right? And like my son goes like this sometimes. I see him, like he has to kind of close his
Yeah,
eyes
yeah,
a little,
yeah,
and he goes like, "That's funny. He's trying so hard," but I tell him that's against my free will, and that very minute he disappears.
yeah.
You know
Exactly,
that's
exactly.
all you have to say. I
It's
refuse.
really a
Touch
belief.
me.
Yeah,
Yep. It's
yeah.
it's all about our beliefs. If you're afraid of somebody bringing you, like I know some people who got
You're creating that if you're
you're
saying that.
absolutely with our
You're
imagination is so
co-creating it.
powerful. If you
Yeah.
believe that everybody has an implant and everybody has an entity,
Hmm.
then you will create and see it
Yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
even in other people, even your body. You can do muscle testing or whatever you can do about the other people, but yeah, your muscle testing would say yes, those people have it because you create a being. you
Exactly,
you just
exactly.
created a bubble of your
So
fantasy
many possibilities. Yeah,
reality about
yeah.
that particular person, that particular person has it even though that person
Yep.
doesn't. So
Yeah.
it's really
Just by thinking
fascinating.
it, you just create that reality, right? You just
Yeah,
created that reality just by saying that and seeing it. Well, there's so many possibilities, and it's like,
right,
so just by saying that, oh, well, that if any entity, it's like co-creation. There's an
right,
opportunity to create that. So it's like
right.
if you're
Yeah,
not opening the opportunity to co-create that, you're not gonna co-create it, I guess. It's like,
exactly. We should
yeah.
lose all the fear of dealing with anybody
Mm,
because the truth is it doesn't matter even if that person has entities. You can do all kinds of things like we get clients all the time with entities, right?
yeah,
And what
yeah,
do those entities go to us? No, they don't. It's
absolutely
simply
not.
And look at some people, like they even joke in sessions, like, oh yeah, come to me, come on, enter my energy, try it,
Yeah.
but you can't
Mm-hmm.
because if you it's all about the knowledge, and that
Yeah.
was precisely why they bombed a lot of old theaters, buildings,
Yeah. Yeah.
libraries,
Yeah.
historical museums in Ukraine, because
Yeah. And they don't
the
want
two
us to
reasons:
look into
destroy
anything
history,
either. Yeah.
because it's information, it's history, it's energy. Energy
Yeah.
carries information, and
Mm-hmm.
plus open up portals for the negative beings to get in. And they not
Mm-hmm.
only stay in this area, they spread. They spread throughout the little, what we call this little Earth thing.
Yeah.
It's not really a planet, just a little spot that we're at.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
that's why
that way they can
prevent.
propaganda their own narrative also, like
Right,
by destroying things and
right,
destroying knowledge and keeping people from wanting to find out also, because people are so
yeah.
stuck with everything that
Mhm.
they're not going to put energy in trying to discover stuff, most
No,
people.
no, no.
So their
The
narrative is
explosions are
easy.
needed to open up holes.
Yeah.
That's precisely why the theories that say that the war is good to cleanse the territory of whatever that is that you come up with to cleanse the territory from, the idea of the war explosions,
No, that's
bombing
that's
is bad.
inorganic. Yeah.
It's not organic exactly. It's to
Exactly.
open up wormholes for the low vibrational entities
Yeah.
to come through. We really
Yeah.
want that to repopulate the earth with those? No, of course not.
Because it creates
So,
so much energy, so they can
right,
take that energy to do what they want with that negative energy or whatever, it's like, and the
right.
blood and the trauma and everything that
It
creates a nice
feeds.
cocktail to do what they
Yeah.
want, like.
Right. Exactly. That fits them all. So the whole I know a lot of channels are now say that this guy is white hat or that one is white hat and this war is good. But here's your explanation, people. No
They're all
war is
traitors in
good.
between them. They're all
Exactly.
spying on each
Exactly.
other, and
Right.
like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Because I mean, you feel bad for souls who get like exit in such low vibration on both sides, on
Yeah.
both countries. It's not like, but some country loses more, of course, but the whole idea is to diminish population. But my question is, who is next? And that's what I mean. We didn't do a session. We already talked for 47 minutes, but because I like
Yeah.
I do little segments of as people write to me different things and send me the links to different videos. I just see a title. I don't watch videos. I don't want
No,
to
exactly.
because it's pure brainwashing, all this
Yeah.
ideas. Oh, the army is hiding behind people. That's why they kill people now. That's another brainwashing. Like this whole thing is just there are 30% of people on this earth have souls, okay? And these
Yeah.
people are in each and every country. They're true, real people who would never want to kill a bird, who
I
would
know.
never want to kill anything that is alive and so that kind of explains a lot of things. So all these theories, they don't have they mean zero to me, really. Like
Yeah.
because the real nice planets and they should not have any ammunition, any wars, any explosions, any suffering, any pain, any emotional distress like people have now.
Yeah.
And also, they shouldn't be having people who give so-called through some fake theories, give explanations why it's okay to kill. It's okay to do it to others. Or they totally disconnect from everything and say it's all fake then. Like simply because you don't see it with your own eyes, it becomes fake. That's another, and I was thinking the other day, wait a minute, look, they activated 5G and they're saying we're going to 5D. It's another clue, isn't it? Like why so many fives? Five and five, and then five is 10, and 10 is 1. So we're getting back to square one, in not moving anywhere,
Oh,
right?
I don't
I
know.
mean,
It's
there's so
like
many
both. It's
things.
both. Again,
Deception upon
there's
deception.
so many things going on in this place. It's crazy when you look at it from, like I was just looking like from zooming out perspective, and oh, it's a zoom.
Yeah,
You know, it's
right. Yeah.
like no collaboration with um many different layers and factions and agendas and like
Yeah, it's
yeah.
it's done on purpose to mix you up, to make you confused, okay? All these theories you'll be digging forever and just
Mhm.
getting deeper and deeper into sinking sand until you die in the series,
Yeah,
you
because it's
know?
like a war for the narrative of the story,
Right.
which story is going to be played here. And everybody has a
Mm,
script, and they're like, no, my script is better. Let's play my
right.
script. How many consciousness can you get in your script to play it? Like that's how I'm seeing it right now. Like, like
Exactly.
because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, and all life is precious, and I just feel like we all have to unite not to let other wars happen between other countries, because this can be on repeat. Because the energy of explosion of that from the fear of the virus going into the fear of the war and
hmm
suffering of it that's going on now, and the bloodshed, this is gonna
yeah.
spread. It's a domino effect. You cannot just seize the energy and deactivate it like this easily. It gave birth to something huge and very negative, and it's gonna go. Like, we better stop it.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking all these days, and that's why I absolutely refuse to believe in any theory and watch any explanation. Also, what makes me, I've seen so many people who do sessions for others, and how many people came to me. I'm not gonna mention their names, but they say that this or that person didn't want to give me a session because I'm too negative, or I belong to SSP and SSP is too negative, or
Oh yeah.
that's another deception. That's another
Yeah.
mind control AI generated trap. So, people, of course, this the whole earth is designed for every single person to suffer in his or her own way.
Exactly. That I was gonna
Oh,
say. Everybody here is like allowed to choose their game. It's like a game of so many layers together, and it's
mhm,
like once you pass a layer or a level, well, you're still in all the other levels together, and you're like
right,
seeing all the levels as you go up, and it's
mhm,
like getting harder and harder or something. It's like crazy, right? Because
right,
it's like really it's a game of souls, it's a game of life, it's a game of learning, creation, whatever, call it what you want, but it's like all together mixed up, and it's like when you're, let's say, just normal human, you don't see any of the other layers, you know it's like you just
right,
see that part, but when you're
mhm,
there, you see all of them, you know
yeah,
so it's like,
absolutely.
which one am I gonna be playing in, really? Like, do I have to play in all of them? Like, it's a question I'm asking myself right now. Or or can I override like the narrative since I'm on another? Because you know why I'm saying this? Because right now, if we would be just normal humans, we would say, oh my God, nothing, we can't do anything for sure. Like, this is the end of the world or whatever. I don't know what they can think.
Mhm, mhm,
And then when you know that there's other stuff going on, well, maybe we can freaking change this so fast with the other tools that we got now, like with the
mhm,
other accesses. Because today I was seeing through my, what I was saying to you, like, I think it's ninth density perspective of myself. Like, she's really tall and she has like a weird head. And it's been three
Mm-hmm.
days. It's been 3 days and she's like showing herself slowly. So I'm like not freaking out, kind of. But what I saw today is I put a freaking pink hologram through all the earth, and it was like zigzagging like that. And when it activated, it went boom like this all around the earth, and it's like all the grids, phew, like fractal, crazy technology. Like I'm saying this, I have crazy chills, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
these technologies, well, they can probably do stuff that normal human perspective doesn't understand right now, like switch
Yeah.
flip switch to flip, or flip the switch, sorry, or whatever, I don't know, but I mean, we're accessing other possibilities here, I think, really.
Yeah. Yeah, it just you just have to understand this and stop spreading your energy too thin, paying
Yeah,
attention and giving energy to all this little distractions. Like look how, I even figured out their thing. They keep saying that for Russians they're going to turn off internet or YouTube, but they're not doing it. And
yeah,
I feel
exactly.
like they're
they're just
not
trying
gonna do
to
it. For
they're
them,
just trying to
thinking from
whatever.
their perspective, I would actually keep it going because it keeps people fighting more. Look
Exactly,
how
it's not.
good we are. Look what our president doing. What our president doing. Well, and so it's just like, and
Yeah,
look
and with
at the
these
planets.
things
They
that
don't have religion. They don't have politics. They don't have any of the systems of control. And they're perfectly normal. They just lived in symbiotic relationship with the planet, loving their
Mhm.
children, their animals, and that's all they do. That's how it's
Yeah,
supposed to be.
and these that place, that mountain, and the craft that we were talking about
Mm.
under the earth, and what I'm
Right.
seeing through, the holographic um controllers or whatever, the ones that are creating the holograms. I
Right.
believe that's kind of what I'm seeing through that. I mean, if everybody, all this gets together,
Right.
we got this big
You're
time,
saying the
and
right thing.
it's not even a possibility for this not to be okay, kind of thing. And
Yeah.
imagine for a second that us, the ones that are aware of this, that we're humans, of course,
Mm-hmm.
we're kind of um able to do something that doesn't really scare the population because it's us and we're changing stuff, like
And
I don't know, whatever we can bring in with whatever technology, organic ways of doing stuff with these crystals, with the ones up there and everything, how people can just shift in a second, you know
mm-hmm.
like all
Right.
this is possible. All the possibilities are there right now. So it's like, with what I see you, I was just looking when you were talking, and like the dolphins and the serious beings and everything, like
Mm-hmm.
you're a big asset, you know what I mean, for this change, for what's going on right now. And the ones that don't want us to succeed, they know. So for sure, it was part of the puzzle part that was clicking with their deciding doing this, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, we have to understand, like you said, 30% of us, well, we're
Mm-hmm.
surely part of these 30% people that are creating this game. and
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and
You
if
you
you
look
look right
golden to
now,
me. You look golden, and you're like with your hands holding, like your hands are entering the grid system.
yeah, exactly.
And
I've
me,
been
I'm more like towards this blue water.
yeah, the water, I was gonna say it, been
Right.
flowing in this crazy, I'm having chills under my chin,
Mm-hmm.
this
Yeah.
crazy plasma liquid energy that's like unseen, like these
It's
portals through
the
our
water.
sun and Sirius are so big right now. Like, these, I've been holding it so strong with all of us. We've been opening this, and
Mm-hmm.
we are the ones
Right.
that are permitting all the other ones not to fry right now like eggs. Okay, because this
Right.
energy is so strong, you
Yeah,
know?
that's trying
And
to disrupt the flow because I see gel-like water, different water
yeah,
underneath the all the oceans, and you
and
collect it.
everything's
It's a
crystal
different
and pink
texture.
and blue and vibrating so strong right now. like it's
Mm,
dissipating everything, like
uh,
shaking so much that everything, and the ones that are not understanding, and like you're saying, all this fighting with the normal army and the normal people, and the ones that are not aware, they're freaking out right now because they're starting to see stuff, and they think they're losing their minds.
yeah,
And
humans figured it out.
it's like,
Humans did. They guess they say that they don't understand what the reason why they're made to fight at this point, and the latest videos, posted on different Telegram groups by Russian groups. I mean, I belong to them too. It's
yeah,
it's allowed, and
they're
they say
humans,
that.
like,
Right, right, like us, because on both sides we understood, wait a minute, they put us to fight with
and they're
each other.
brainwashed.
We
Yeah, they're
we better
everybody's
figure
brainwashed
this
here.
out between ourselves because we don't want to fight with each other, but they're making us
Exactly.
do it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're now writing that we don't want to go because they do a second mobilization, a third mobilization of the Russian, and they all refusing, but they're taken to prison then, but it's better when one Belarusian general said, he did a 2 minute announcement. He said sometimes um the biggest act of heroism for
Hmm.
you is to refuse to go to war, not to
Yeah.
fight, but to refuse to do it.
Yeah. Because it's all brainwash, it's
Right,
all, and it's so not multi-layered. Like, it's crazy. If it
mhm.
doesn't catch you on one side, it's going to bite you on the other side.
Right, yeah,
And it's like, oh, you're feeling like you're not okay when you're doing this, so I'll go do this. And now I'm feeling like I'm not okay to do this. And you're
right,
never like okay,
right,
because also what I'm seeing is that the timelines shift, and the um connection to their logical brain, because they're like only logical,
right.
practical, it changes. So then
Like
they're like
reptilian
not
type.
sure, and then they're not
Hmm.
sure, and then they're like even more aggressive and scared, and
Hmm.
that creates
Yeah, here
confusion.
you got the
Confusion.
resistance going by people, but the people should understand they don't have enough prisons to put you all in the prisons. They don't have, they're just like a little group of those
They're not even
people.
thinking before they're acting, all of them.
Right,
People are just
exactly.
acting
Yeah,
on like I don't know. They're not thinking further than their noses to do what they're doing right now.
right,
Of course, I mean, they're living on this planet, all of them. Like, what do you think you're
right.
doing right now? So for sure, this is not. This
It's
is
like
a
a test for
looping.
humanity, for the
It's
human
a.
in you know, right now going on.
That's what I've been doing a lot, to reconnect the heart and brain symbiosis. Like, I've
Mm-hmm.
been trying, and like not trying, but I've been really sending everybody, to reconnect with their higher selves, and to get,
Mm-hmm.
their selves kind of thing, because
Right.
they're not connected to their selves. They're connected to the AI grid and their
Yeah.
negative thought forms that are so intricate with the freaking thing that they took, in their arms. That's all connected
Mm-hmm.
together. So it's just
Right.
making it stronger for them. So
And
it was,
also, yeah,
yeah.
it's also proven, like maybe the last thing, because we're going over an hour right now. The last thing I noticed that even people who took this thing, a lot of them are very humane. They're the
Some
ones
it's
who
not
are
working.
helping.
Some it's
Yeah,
not
there's
working.
so
Yeah.
many people who wrote to me that, oh, I have a house from Czech, from
Yeah.
Romania, from Budapest, from London, even.
Some of them, some
Oksana, if you know
frequencies
Ukrainian
are,
family, we can
yeah.
host them, we can take them. It's free for them.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, wow, this is a real us. This are human.
Hmm.
These are our souls. They're getting
Yeah.
through the physical. So apparently, it's a misconception also if you took this,
Hmm.
that you're
Hmm.
screwed for life.
No,
No, no, it's
no.
a
It's the
misconception.
frequency. It's a frequency
Right.
thing. As soon as you're on a higher frequency, which everybody can do, this thing is
It
is is dissipated.
overlaps.
It's
Yep.
overrided because it's just not strong enough. There's
Right.
nothing stronger than universal
Mm,
consciousness
right.
power,
It's a
creation.
proof. The
Like,
situation proves the point.
we're
Yeah.
connected to everything. So it's just, as long as you know how to bring it, and it's
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of people I know also, that got it and they're feeling better now, and it's like they're
Mm,
overriding it, and then they're changing,
it
so it's like
made them
changing
wake
the.
up in a way. And
Yeah,
some of the people who didn't get it are even deeper in their false awakening, believing that they are going to some 5D and therefore they need to have create a fake bubble of reality around themselves and
again,
never.
so many
And
programs,
I know, and
again,
they're in
so
the
many
theory.
programs connected to these big vacuums of thoughts, kind of
You
thing.
see them too, right? They're being
Yeah,
sucked
because
into the
yeah,
egregores.
because it's like
So many
generators of realities, like holographic bringers of realities. So if they're sucking enough energy, well, that's what's
multi-cubes.
the movie that's gonna play at the cinema. It's gonna be
Right.
that.
Yeah,
So it's yeah, and also another thing is that with their thing that they put in the people, they didn't put everybody the same thing. So it's different testing,
exactly. It's true
different
too.
reactions to different frequencies, different
Yeah.
bloodlines, different. They're all taking notes. Don't worry.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and
Sometimes
they're
I
all
tell them, you
listening to
better
our
be taking notes,
conversations
you
and text
guys now.
messages and all this, of course.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. They know they're checking, So
Right.
all all the levels of what this is going on has so many compart compartmentalization, that
Right.
it's like.
Yeah, I agree
Okay.
with you. Well,
Hmm.
maybe next time we'll do a session because I
Yeah,
just,
exactly.
what I was talking about, it's all based on my own research.
Hmm.
And you do the same every day, I know, and that's
And
what
we're
we wanted
talking,
to
but we
share.
see, we're
Right, we're
talking, but we
talking and
see at the
seeing.
same
I saw
time.
you literally like a golden light and moving. When I
Yeah.
would close your eyes, I could still see you move, but in golden light.
Yeah.
But I feel so connected to water these days and to this
Hmm.
blue pillar of light, and it's number 8 pillar of light, so it's a new world. And
Exactly what I see
every
too.
single, even like I was going back and I was thinking, wait a minute, the number of my building in Ukraine where I was born and grew up is number
Hmm.
8. The
Yep.
group that I got into university was number 8. The
Hmm.
ticket that I answered correctly to get into the university was number 8. It
Imagine
goes
that. It's
on and on.
infinity.
And even now my apartment is ends with 8.
Wow. Yeah, exactly.
Zero.
Yeah,
It's
we get these
amazing.
numbers, and these are so like once you start seeing it and you see the patterns, because all is like not numeric, but it's digital kind of thing. So once you start to
Exactly.
see these things and recognize, you read this place easily, I
It
feel.
coincides with your vibrational frequency
Oh yeah,
because I never
yeah.
pay attention to my phone number and it's all nines and threes and ones.
Wow.
And people
Tesla.
told me, like, I'm thinking, wow, that's very interesting because this
Universal.
phone was given to me by my father-in-law and the phone number was already pre-decided for me. I didn't have any say
Okay.
to it, but
My email, it's the same thing. I had a they gave me a number to put on my email, when I created
mm,
it, and this number, it's my numbers. Like it's like it's crazy.
you are in resonance with that
Oh yeah, yeah,
frequency of the
for
numbers.
sure.
That's why you get
Exactly.
it.
Yep.
That's how it
And what I
works.
wanted to say with the eight that you're saying, when I connect, through the suns and I try and go to the end, it comes back down. So it's like it's like it's an eight already. And when I see and I try and move the energy, I say try, but when I remove the energy around the earth, it goes like this and in and out, and it's like an eight also.
Creating
Like it's
loops like
really
that.
get like toroidal fields. But so
Mm.
many right now are like firing up. Like this
108,
place.
16.
Imagine
16
that.
my birthday, yeah. That's funny.
Oh,
The recording there. Well, it's probably a good time to end the
yep,
recording, but thank you so
yep.
much. Yeah, next time we'll
Thank you.
do session and maybe
Yeah,
people can write in comments what questions they have, we can
sure. That would
research
be
on.
awesome. All
Okay,
right.
thank
I
you.
love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.